retire early, you're subject to the Social Security earnings test, and there are limits to how much money you can make. If you exceed the limit, your Social Security check could be reduced. Last month, I published a video about working while receiving Social Security benefits. And I got so many questions about what type of income counts for the test, I decided that this topic deserved its own video. I'm Beverly, and I'm talking about what counts and what doesn't count for the Social Security earnings test. Plus, what the SSA, Social Security Administration, considers special payments. Let's jump right in. So, what type of income counts towards that earnings limit? Now, just to be clear, I am talking about Social Security retirement benefits, not SSDI or SSI. Okay, let's take a look. Here's the income that counts: employment income, such as wages, your salary, and net earnings from self employment. Now, let's look at what income does not count, which means it won't affect your Social Security benefit. IRA distributions, annuity payments, pension payments, dividends, capital gains, and interest income. Other types that don't count but aren't as common, so they aren't talked about as much. Income from real estate and rentals, although there are two exceptions if you're a real estate dealer and if it involves farm rental equipment. Also, inheritance. That money isn't earned income, so the SSA doesn't include it in the earnings test. But if it's an inherited investment that produces taxable income, it must be reported on your tax return. Same with gambling winnings. That doesn't count because it isn't earned income, but I think the IRS would think that counts towards your taxable income. So you have to be very aware that some of this income, although it doesn't count for the Social Security earnings test, it can still create some sort of issue other places, such as on your tax return. So be sure you understand what counts, what doesn't count, and what should still be reported to the IRS. Now, some types of payments have their own special category. The SSA says if you work for wages, income counts when it's earned, not when it's paid. So that's good news. If it was earned before retirement, when it's paid, doesn't really matter. I know that feels odd because you get it after retirement. A good example of that is back pay, sick pay, or vacation pay, money you might get when you leave a company. Self-employment income is different. The SSA says if you were self-employed, any net income you receive after the first year you retire counts as a special payment. This applies if you performed the services before your entitlement to retirement. Social Security benefits. Services are considered regular work or some significant activity that you do for your business. If you have income, including special payments that make you exceed the limit, notify the SSA just to make sure that you're on the same page about whether or not it counts, because you do not want any surprises with this. And if you are retiring early, or it's the year of your full retirement age and you're retiring, I want you to take a look at this video right here. I cover the earnings limits, and there are 3 different situations that you have to be aware of so you don't end up losing money. If you're struggling with any retirement issues or have questions, please leave me a comment. I really want to know what concerns you so that I can address it in a future video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.